Galera, vamos estar acompanhando agora o Winners Final, Brasil versus Estados Unidos, Lores versus Balloon Boy, Lores de Dusk, Balloon Boy de Mega Man, Vivi, o crossover da Vivi. Lembrando que se você é criador de conteúdo de Brawlhalla, eu criei uma org para estar juntando os criadores de conteúdo de Brawlhalla aqui do Brasil, para todo mundo crescer junto. Então faz a sua inscrição lá no Discord, está no comentário fixado, beleza? Se você quiser receber aula, só se torna membro aí embaixo, tá? É nóis.
Nice GC inlight, throws that weapon away so he can grab the spear that he wants. Gets away from that flame sword. BB Balloon Boy was hitting so many people with that flame sword earlier in order to qualify here for the top 8 and get this deep into the bracket. Again, slide charging that off the stage. He uses that so well. He's able to hit the front of it, able to hit the back of it, able to hit it stacked as well. He just nails the vortex.
He does have to be careful though. Lores sitting here with that spear. Gravity cancel neutral signature is a really good way to shut down that slide charge. But right now, Lores is worried about how does he get back onto the stage.
Oh, instant punish. The D-Light into the recovery for the KO off the top, and Balloon Boy is ready to take that opening the second Lores whiffs that Sig.
Yeah, that's what you expect out of somebody who is a Blasters specialist. That downlight into the recovery, a classic for the Blasters players, but an easy side air on Lores. The side keeps this one close.
Weapon spawn comes in. He's instantly throwing that orb away for the spear and going back. We are dead even in this game as the next weapon spawn comes into the middle. Balloon Boy is able to grab it. Sidelight into the side air, true combo option. Ooh, the nice fadeaway side air. Doesn't make a connection, but he also doesn't get punished. Lores gets through that sidelight. There's the D-Light. Lores also gets through that one as well.
A really good approach there from Lores with that dash into the spot dodge.
Nice start.
Balloon Boy gonna turn this one around. Disengages, it's a bait, comes back down with a down air, and Lores loses that stock early.
Unbelievable efficiency on that. I thought we were gonna see another ground pound coming in there, but no, he went back to the main platform before going back down with the down air, interrupting all the in-air movement, completely disqualifying him from the wall touch so that he didn't reset his jumps. The potential setup here, but BB Balloon Boy stayed low so he didn't get caught by the second signature.
Yep, I like the charge up there from Lores. That's not going to hit stacked up. Balloon Boy knows it, just jumps right above him, hits him with that down air. Lores, now he's swapping over to the classic weapon that he wants, but he hasn't been getting any good reads off of his sidelights.
He did the sidelight into the jump, seeing what Balloon Boy was doing after the onstage ground pound. The harpoon toss goes over Balloon Boy's head. The gravity cancel down heavy, but Balloon Boy stays low. He's out of the way of it. The weapon toss goes higher. We're going to get to see the side air. No, it's going to be a down air. The weapon toss, both players disarmed. Next weapon goes to Balloon Boy. Here's the blasters. Lores on the top platform. They swap places.
Not enough to KO. He's over to the orb. Easier to KO with, but Balloon Boy's not going to give him the chance. Hits him with the side sig. Balloon Boy going to take game number 1.
Now, without that second stock, that Balloon are able to play that mental game and realize, okay, that's game 1. There's plenty of time here. It's a best of 5. We're going back to Fortress of Lions. Same legends, same map. For if you're Lores, you're hoping for a different result.
Yeah, trying to beat more onto that spear. I think if you look at the numbers right now, Lores in that last game only had the spear for 48% of it, whereas Balloon Boy had it for 52%. He had his blasters for 52%, so that comfort weapon being a key tool.
There's the down air just missing. You see Lores retreating over to the corner. Moving back to the middle of the stage. Nice fadeaway side air. Balloon Boy's so good at that. The jump dares. Another dare.
Ooh, just a neutral right there. Thought he was in position for a sidelight side air, but instead went for the quicker option. Balloon Boy trying to get Lores there. Good spacing. Hits him with the sidelight in the side air.
Lores might find it difficult to get in on these blasters. There's the weapon toss, but he goes for the jump side air while Balloon Boy stayed low. Charges up the signature and gets the hit, gets the KO. That's the potency of these orb signatures, and he's actually throwing the spear away for the orb. So we're seeing Lores be different than he's played previously, given that he's such a spear specialist, but unfortunately he got disarmed. There's the weapon toss high. Can he recover back? He hasn't thrown out the recovery yet. Does get hit by the ground pound just like that?
Yeah, I thought that was a really telegraphed ground pound. I'm surprised Lores didn't at least throw out a nair or a weapon toss to try to cover his head. Instead, I think he thought he was safe. Ended up trying to go up there. Oh,
he was looking for
trying
it.
to steal one out there.
Early theft.
Back onto the main stage. Lores with his spear. Balloon Boy with the blasters, but he's playing that spacing game so well.
The neutral air juggle goes for the GC sidelight, nothing after. We haven't seen any major spear strings coming out from Lores. That is a nice little neutral light over the edge, but they mostly been going back and forth, which is why you see their damage pretty much even. Balloon Boy might be a little bit in the lead after that side air. Again, the sidelight into the neutral air this time. Fadeaway side air again coming out, just trying to play the spacing game against Lores. Here comes the orb. There's the GC D light into the recovery. Not enough to KO off the top.
Still really good damage on the side of Balloon Boy. Lores needs to find a bigger string here. He's only really, like you said, been going back and forth, just trading blow for blow against Balloon Boy, which is not what he needs right now. Over to the spear, throws out the neutral light, but Balloon Boy gets behind him.
You see him going for the D-Light side air because he's on the left side of the stage, so the left blast zone is going to be the closest one for him there. Also a much easier combo to pull off compared to the D-Light recovery. Of course, Balloon Boy's going to nail those, but just in case, that's the smarter option to go for. The low recovery, and Lores picks up the side air for the KO. We are back to dead even, Duke.
Really good delay there from Lores. I thought for a moment there that he was going to try to side air Balloon Boy back towards the stage with how he was positioning, but instead was just drifting around Balloon Boy. There's the Sig. Lores gets past it, something not too many people have been able to do this weekend.
Are we going to see any type of corner guard coming out? No, there's a signature, though, over the edge. Does make the connection, setting up. There's the recovery, sending Lores high. He actually recovers almost around that soft platform. Balloon Boy's looking for potential juggle game coming out with these boots recoveries. There is a weapon spawn on the field. There's the side air, the weapon toss. Oh, the bottom side of the neutral light also makes it. Ooh, okay, does he get it here? The ground pound, yep, there was the wall touch though. The weapon toss goes up from Lores. He stays deep enough in the push-off column so the ground pound along the wall doesn't hit him. There's the D-Light into the side air. Might have gone for the recovery there, but he didn't feel comfortable enough maybe in that moment, hoping he could KO with the side air. There's the neutral signature. Flame Sword, the front of it again, and Balloon Boy is now up 2-0 on Lores.
Need to go 2 up off of those signatures. Man, that pressure position, I thought for a second there that Lores was going to disengage, try to get back up onto the stage, but I think
here at the Midseason Championship, this deep in bracket, when the...
Mudança, galera, mudança. Crossover, mudou de skin, ferrou agora pro Balloon Boy.
Now he's changing up his skin, he's going over to the Nimue.
Yeah, just saying, Balloon Boy, you probably won't hit a woman, but right now Balloon Boy doesn't care about gender. Instead, hits him with a down air, and Lores trying to find some response damage. It's going to be a side air.
Balloon Boy over on the wall. It doesn't take him too long to get back up. He's being very careful about how he throws out his downlights until he gets the guaranteed confirmed D-Light that we just saw happen. There's the side sig. Haven't seen too many signatures come out from him other than that Flame Sword, really. Oh, this is scary.
Okay. Oh, went a little early there with that N-Sig. Not sure that would have worked out. Charges it this time. Balloon Boy still managing to get past it. Another one expecting Balloon Boy to come down. That recovery helps him out, though.
He nails that right with the perfect timing, so he doesn't get caught by the ground pound from Balloon Boy. Setting up the edge guard. The harpoon toss goes high, but he goes low now this time. Hits the unarmed side air for the KO. Lores with a nice lead, only about halfway through this first stock. He even throws up the neutral signature for a little bit of a flourish there. Balloon Boy hits him away, grabs the blasters. See if he can punish with like an in-light. The fadeaway side air coming through. Maybe a GC D-Light right off the ground. It's going to be a down air. There's the side sig covering low, and that's a KO.
Yeah, Lores throwing out a lot more signatures in this game, and it did help him get that first stock, but Balloon Boy still has signatures of his own, ends up keeping things close.
Lores over camping the wall for just a second. He expected Balloon Boy to come in with the tornado. He's done that several times now.
Balloon Boy comes up, expecting Lores to jump there, saw that neutral air come out. Instead, Lores chasing him, hits him with the recovery as Balloon Boy dodges down. Side sig charged up, Balloon Boy, great patience, doesn't jump into the second hit.
Just a recovery after that from Balloon Boy into the weapon toss, unarmed in-light.
Nice.
Charging that one up just a little bit there. He knows exactly how long he can do that to get a little bit just extra on it after the stun time from the initial hit. There's a fadeaway side air, sending Lores over to the right, but he stays high. Dodge comes through, so he doesn't get caught by the N-Sig. There's the side air, setting up a potential edge guard. The fadeaway side air from Balloon Boy. He's got a mastery of that movement. There's the signature for the KO. Lores, again, with about the exact same lead that he had when he took the second stock. He's only about halfway through, maybe about 100 damage on the stock.
Really well done from Lores. Dashed past Balloon Boy, saw that downlight come out, and knew his side signature comes out faster that time. Didn't know he was going to hit that high, so you saw him trying to jump over. Wanted to hit him with the down air, but instead Balloon Boy beat him out.
I don't know how many South American Mega Mans there are out there, so he may not really have hardly any experience against that signature specifically to know how, like, the end of it hits.
Balloon Boy still showing more signatures. Ground pound gonna whiff, but Lores still swinging. Hits him with that recovery on the way up, trying to deny weapons here. Wants to get a little extra credit.
Lores is able to grab the first weapon that comes in after that, after they were both disarmed. Still controlling the weapons here. Nice spot dodge to get through Balloon Boy's offensive. Balloon Boy grabs the blasters. There's the in-light, goes for the jump side air, but Lores is too high. There's the D-Light into the side air. This time, both making a connection. Gets the KO, and Balloon Boy just about 50 damage behind, so he shrunk the lead that Lores had on both first and second stock.
Now, one stock difference here from a game 4 or Balloon Boy being guaranteed into the grand finals. You know the North Americans want to see him get that win right here, right now. Right now, starting to get some damage onto Lores. Lores, though, with that stage control, hits him with a neutral light.
Lores does have the lead, but he needs to shut Balloon Boy down here quickly if he wants to turn the tide in his favor. Now the Balloon Boy's up 2-0, still maintaining this weapon control. We're seeing an orb-based Lores doing it more than ever before. See if he can find another final side air to end this. Goes with the down, turning it around into the recovery. Again, same thing right after that, the in light, but Balloon Boy overspaces it. Still without the weapon, he's able to get past, but there's the in light, sending him away. Lores still with weapon control, still opting for the orb.
Still not able to finish the stock, though. Balloon Boy not able to pick up a weapon. That weapon toss going to hit him right in the face, but Balloon Boy, again, finally picks up a weapon, immediately throws out the recovery.
Lores throws away that orb there. He wasn't able to find the setup for the side light into the side air. The unarmed side air, not just enough yet. I feel like maybe that was a little bit of an early celebration. The weapon toss goes down. He has stage control, but he doesn't have the weapon control. Now he's able to grab back to the orb. Balloon Boy with the fadeaway side air. The weapon toss, it's sending him flying. It's really not going to take hardly anything. The weapon toss down might be the one to do it. Maybe the follow-up after. No, Lores is being so careful here. He's the spear down air master, but he's still showing so much respect to Balloon Boy.
Yeah, I mean, he tried to...
Caraca, finalmente, pelo amor de Deus.
But earlier he did a down air, got stuffed by Balloon Boy with an immediate blasters.
That's 628 damage. So Lores is having to do a lot of damage to keep up and win that game against Balloon Boy there. Meanwhile, Balloon Boy isn't having to do as much damage. His KO efficiency is so much better. He's drilling those D-Light into the recoveries in on the blasters. He's using the flames for when he needs to. Okay, this could change the KO efficiency there for Lores like that. The down air just barely missing.
Yeah, I think it comes down to Lores not really hitting a lot of signatures. He threw out 13 in that last game, only hit 15% of them. He struggled to find those sigs, which for Dusks, that's how you get the KOs. Nice pogo. One more hit. Won't need
Should
it.
be done.
Balloon Boy can't touch the wall.
Has his choice of weapon. Is he going to swap it out for the orb? I think he's going to probably stick with, yeah, there he is, sticking with the spear here, but he does deny the weapon spawn over to Balloon Boy. Weapon spawn comes to the right side. Balloon Boy gets past. Signature's coming up from Lores. The first one missed, the second one hit.
Getting a little bit more confident with that signature kit. Catches Balloon Boy. Once again, Balloon Boy stuck on the wall. This time, down airs are abundant because Balloon Boy only has the boots in air, but he gets above him.
Nice weapon toss from Lores, using that to keep himself safe. Put out that hitbox right above his head, so Balloon Boy would have to get down and around it.
Nice!
Oh, dude, I love the weapon toss into the neutral air. Lores is so good at picking up the weapon and using the unarmed kit as well. There's the down air. He's still keeping this damage lead going. It's huge at this point.
Yeah, just racking up more and more damage, making it harder and harder for Balloon Boy to come back into this one.
Nice.
Lores wants that game 5, trying to play the edge guard, but instead Balloon Boy with that side air. Lores hasn't touched the wall, and he knows it. Gonna fall there, but Balloon Boy's in the red.
That was Lores like trying to push as hard as he could and become an overwhelming force on top of Balloon Boy. That was a great down air, a spiking down air from Balloon Boy to end that, but he's almost a full stock behind at this point. He does have weapon advantage. Just a D-Light into the recovery. I was a little bit curious if he was going to go for the D-Light into the ground pound there, but maybe he didn't feel confident enough. Maybe he knew where the damage threshold was, where he could pick up the D-Light into the recovery, being a high-strength legend like Dusk.
Yeah, I mean, there was a decent amount of damage on Balloon Boy, and I think more people practice that downlight recovery instead of the downlight ground pound. A little bit easier to do. Here, gonna try to get some damage. Balloon Boy not gonna dodge at all, and so Lores not gonna get much.
D-Light side light, or sorry, D-Light side air. He might have been able to grab the D-Light side light given that we were at low damage, but Lores is adding more of it up here. There's a weapon toss straight down. Balloon Boy gets past. Nice down air again, leading up to a potential spike. He gets completely away. Balloon Boy sees that one coming. Oh, you can't just rip the flame sword in the middle of the stage. Lores is ready for that, and we're going to game 5. And the spear compared to only 31 on the orb.
Bora lá, última partida.
Balloon Boy putting out 195 on the blasters compared.
Já se inscreve no canal aí pra estar acompanhando mais.
So his boot strings just aren't quite there yet. I don't know if that's because Lores has figured it out, or if Balloon Boy is just like, you know what, I'm really going to stick to the blasters here and go for that.
I mean, I got to point out that signature accuracy that Lores had, though. Throughout 12 signatures, hit 33% of them. That was what got him that game.
When you hit 4 Dusk signatures, like, they're going to feel it. 33% is not a high number, but when you're Dusk, it is. Again, getting away from the Flame Sword, Balloon Boy really can't rely on that anymore.
Yeah, on the defensive side, Lores has actually been shutting down the signatures from Balloon Boy. You haven't seen those tornadoes slide charged off the stage. Haven't seen those flame swords connecting either. Lores really just kind of adapting to how Balloon Boy's playing.
And you're seeing the change-ups after the side light coming out from Lores, seeing the signatures come out as well, in addition to just looking for the next side light. This time changing it up, getting the turnaround recovery, pivoting that so he can cover above his head just a little bit more. There's the side air, doesn't send off screen yet. Weapon toss goes high, Balloon Boy recovers low.
Just denying weapons. Balloon Boy able to dodge down. Got past Lores, but the weapon toss connects. Balloon Boy on the edge here, eats that recovery. He's going to be down to stock here now. Lores, he's taking his time, swaps over the spear.
He's about back to the lead that he had in the previous game that he won, where he's in the middle stages of orange compared to Balloon Boy, who just lost his stock. Weapon control over here for Lores. Balloon Boy's able to grab the boots.
Punish. Ooh, little outspaced there. Lores not able to get in, get that down like ground pound that he wanted. Instead, Balloon Boy still sitting untouched on the stock, throws out the flame sword, but again, Lores can't punish.
Oh, he wasn't ready to follow up with the immediate side air after that side light. He probably didn't expect it to hit, but he did get the delayed side air right after that once he recognized that Lores was going to be jumping in the air in that moment. Looking for the Gimp off the top. Not any major juggle game coming out from Balloon Boy.
And Lores starting to get a little bit scared here. Balloon Boy cleaned that one up a little too easily, and Lores was not able to build that damage gap that he wants. Good read there, hits him with that recovery, but Balloon Boy's back swinging.
Again, he's back to following up that sideline with the turnaround recovery. Great spot dodge there to get through Balloon Boy. This time he goes for the sideline into the side air. Where's the down air? I feel like we really haven't seen him using too many of those. There it is. He could start using it now.
Nice.
The times that we've seen him use 100 of them in a row. He only needed 2 that time for the KO. Almost a full stock lead up on Balloon Boy.
Significant lead here for the South American. Potential for him to make it into the grand finals. Balloon Boy looking for that weapon spawn. Lores already swinging, covering it. Okay, getting some damage. Throws out the side sig a little early there. Lores not in anywhere near it.
Now we're seeing those down airs coming in. He does miss the second one. There's the down air from Balloon Boy this time. Side air sends Lores over to the edge. Pivoted that down air but couldn't quite find it, but he's able to escape without taking too much. Just the spear recovery, but he still is so far behind.
Yeah, Balloon Boy cannot afford this damage that Lores is putting out. Jumps, expecting Lores to jump up into the air. Want to hit him with that side air. Throws up the down light, not punished though. Balloon Boy wants his final stock. Lores able to jump over the down light.
Dude, he whipped that side stick right in front of Balloon Boy, and he wasn't able to punish in time. The orb coming out. There is a weapon spawn on the field that goes to Balloon Boy. Lores might be waiting for the next one, or he just goes in unarmed. He has such a lead at this point, recovering low here. He's able to touch, but there's the ground pound to get the KO. Balloon Boy, you need something big here if you want this victory. The lead that Lores has at this moment is huge. You do have the weapon advantage. There's the GCD light pivoting the nair, grabbing the weapon, swapping to the boots. There's the neutral air. There's the neutral air.
He knew that the weapon starving was one of the big tools that he had. Lores immediately throws away the spear, looking like he wants that orb for the guaranteed KO combo with that side light. Balloon Boy with the starvation, gonna again deny weapon pickups from Lores, but Lores utilizing that soft platform. Now he's got his orb.
Starts off with the down air. There's the down air just landing right above the corner, but Balloon Boy's too low for that to make a connection. Lores playing back, goes with the dash in light. There's the D-light side air. Instant punish from Balloon Boy. Oh, the side air just happened to be the wrong direction.
Balloon Boy trying to make sure he does not get caught. There's the signature. Balloon Boy, great patience, waits it out and punishes. Throws out the flame sword. Lores not in position. He's adding it up. He's getting this closer. Lores still knows one good hit and he's taken the game.
Does Lores risk a signature in the middle of the stage again? He's just searching for these side airs. Even the recovery's not going to do it. They're both looking for their final KO move. Is that going to be enough? Not just yet. Dusk is going to survive.
Oh, but Lores disarmed. Balloon Boy with the control. He can get a downlight, he can get a recovery, he can get a side air. Lores, downlight pickup, neutral air. He needs the KO. The weapon toss not going to hit once again. Starving himself of weapons. He has the orb. Sideline, side air!
Nossa senhora. Lores vai pra Grand Finals, pessoal. É isso. Não se esquece de estar acompanhando aí, tá? É nóis.
Finals was not done through Kaina.